Mena has officially filed a case against Mendeecees Harris in a shocking turn of events that is rocking the entire hip-hop and love world. The allegations are absolutely jaw-dropping, according to leaked insider details. The fiery reality. Star is accusing Mendeecees of physically assaulting her during a heated behind-the-scenes altercation that allegedly went out of control. What's more explosive is that sources claim that Yandy Smith was present when it all happened, but she has remained silent. Fans are demanding answers, and the internet is ablaze with speculation, as the court documents allegedly make their way through the legal system. Those closest to the trio are reportedly picking sides, and the Love and Hip Hop cast may never be the same again. Emotions are running high, alliances are disintegrating, and Erica is coming out with what she calls the truth they tried to bury. Stay put, because what you're about to hear is more than just a scandal. It's a full-blown reality meltdown that is happening in real life, and trust us, this is just the beginning of the drama that began when no one was watching, but it wasn't captured on camera. After Mena was spotted storming out of a Midtown high-rise building late Wednesday evening, with her heels clipping violently against the pavement and her phone pressed tightly to her ear as she barked into it. Paparazzi caught her slipping into a black sub, her face hard and unreadable, holding what appeared to be legal documents. Within hours, the internet was ablaze with rumors, and by morning, it was official. Erica had filed an assault case against Mendeecees Harris social media. Hashtags such as #JusticeErica, #CancelMendeecees, and #StandWithYandy trended at the same time, each pulling fans in different directions. One camp praised Erica for having the courage to speak up, while the other demanded proof to defend Mendeecees and drag Erica's history through the mud. Old clips from scenes of Love and Hip Hop reunions that showed tense exchanges between the two that now look far more sinister in hindsight resurfaced, showing tense exchanges between the two that now appear to be much more sinister. An old black and white photo of her arm with what appeared to be a fading bruise was posted on Instagram with the caption, "This time, silence would have killed me." Fans, celebrities, influencers, and everyone else had something to say. Some praised her bravery, while others accused her of being attention-seeking. However, one person said nothing, Yandy Smith, for someone who always had something to say. Whether in interviews on social media or in her own home, this sudden quiet was unsettling, according to those close to her. According to sources, she was caught off guard and caught in the crossfire of two people she never thought would blow up like TS. The backlash came quickly. Former cast members anonymously commented on gossip pages, asking whether she knew more than she was letting on. And one said Yandy always knew how messy things were behind the scenes. She just pretended not to see it. She apparently had no idea that Erica was planning to go public or that legal action was even being considered. The most damning piece came from a leaked surveillance photo outside a production studio that showed Erica and the Mendeecees in a face-off, their bodies angled sharply toward each other. There was no sound, but their body language screamed confrontation, with Erica's hand in midair pointing aggressively. It also hinted at a time during filming, when security had to intervene because things between them got way too heated. The Mendeecees looked defensive, possibly even agitated, and zoomed in, over-analyzing every pixel, convinced it was evidence of a deeper story waiting to blow up as tensions after 3 days. He finally broke his silence on Instagram, saying calmly, but angrily, "I did not do what she's accusing me of," straight to the camera. "I don't know what she's trying to gain from this, but it's not the truth. I would never put my hands on a woman ever behind him." In the meantime, a fan wrote, "Something isn't right." Hip-hop and love producers were frantically working on the show. She had previously experienced scandals, but nothing like this. The legal ramifications were too great to ignore. According to some insiders, emergency meetings were taking place. At V1 headquarters, Reuters were reviewing contracts, sponsors were pulling out. And others whispered that, depending on what happened next, the network might postpone the next season entirely. Erica, for her part, remained silent for a few days before announcing a press conference. Her legal team released a statement promising damning evidence, a full timeline of events, and a commitment to transparency. Fans went crazy with blogs, speculating about what this evidence might be: text messages, videos, audio recordings, or even medical records. And the buzz was uncontrollable, even reaching the national media. A former crew member told a popular podcast anonymously that the tension between Erica and Mendeecees had been building for months and that they had never liked each other. The person claimed that production had to step in and separate them on multiple occasions, as if they were ticking time bombs. The same crew member also claimed that the confrontation that sparked the legal case occurred during a closed-door meeting about future episodes. Apparently, things got so bad that security was called, but by the time they arrived, both stars had already stormed out in opposite directions, leaving many fans behind. Remained divided. Some shared side-by-side comparison videos of Erica's composed interviews and her explosive social media behavior, while others uncovered old tweets and comments from men who had praised Yandy's strength and loyalty, citing them as evidence that he could never be abusive. It turned into a battle of narratives, and nobody knew who to believe. A close friend reportedly told reporters that she had resumed therapy because she was unsure of how to handle the mess. She loved her husband, but Erica's accusations rocked her. They had been friends once, allies in the harsh world of reality, and now they were enemies. And by the time Friday arrived, the internet was at its peak. Countdowns to Erica's press conference were appearing on YouTube. Gossip bloggers promised exclusive leaks, and one anonymous Reddit user claimed to have access to a never-before-seen clip that would change everything. The fandom was in chaos. Sides were drawn, emotions were high, and throughout it all, Erica remained silent. Her next move was hidden behind closed doors because she knew the world was watching, and she planned to make them listen. Was prepared. The press conference was approaching. The drama was far from over, and no one, not even Yandy, was prepared for what Erica was going to reveal. As the press conference started, cameras flashed frantically, and reporters fought for position in an attempt to capture every word that came out of Erica Mena's mouth. She stepped up to the microphone, dressed in all black, her face composed but her eyes heavy with emotion. Behind, prepared for battle. She took a deep breath and leaned into the microphone. "I remained silent for too long," she said, "but I refused to defend someone who made me." Reporters frantically typed on laptops as live viewers nationwide watched in disbelief. The internet had already gone crazy when Erica appeared on screen, but now her words were starting a digital fire. She spoke clearly about an alleged incident that happened inside a private veil in one production office, saying, according to her, a disagreement over creative direction escalated into a heated argument. "He got in my face," pausing for a moment. "He screamed," she said, pointing, "and when I attempted to leave, he grabbed my arm so hard it left a bruise. I was terrified and knew then I needed to speaking up." The room fell silent. Erica's attorney then intervened and provided what they called preliminary evidence, which consisted of printed screenshots of text messages that were distributed to media representatives. One of the messages purportedly said, "You better not go behind my back again, or I'll make sure you regret it." Another said, "Keep playing and see what happens." Although the context was unclear, the tone was strong enough to immediately incite outrage among online fans, bloggers, and even within minutes of the press conference concluding, Mendeecees went live again, this time with an expression. "I'm not going to sit back and let someone lie on my name," he said, pacing back and forth in his home office. Other celebrities expressed everything from shock to indignation on Twitter and Instagram. A few stars from previous Love and Hip Hop seasons even reposted the screenshots, writing, "We believe you, Erica." He then displayed his own collection of texts, one of which purportedly contained an apology from Erica San-Gov reacted. "Kid, I'm just stressed." The comment section exploded as fans argued about authenticity, timelines, and motives. Some thought that Mendeecees was being calculating and opportunistic, while others said that the apology didn't mean that the assault didn't occur and that it was normal for survivors to feel guilty and second-guess themselves. Psychologists and trauma experts began commenting on the podcast, and TikTok analyzing Erica and Men's actions in an attempt to uncover the truth behind the spectacle, while Yandy stayed eerily silent. Insiders said she was refusing to speak in public because her feelings were too raw. She's torn. A family source said she doesn't know what to believe. She loves her husband, but she also knows that Erica doesn't stay silent for nothing. Rumors circulate that she took her children and left the house for a while, needing time to reflect. Some even claim she was seen checking into a hotel using a false identity to evade paparazzi and media questions, according to one insider. The production office felt like a war zone, with crew members whispering and executives visibly panicking amid all this chaos. Erica posted a follow-up video on her Instagram stories, this time crying, "I didn't want this," she said through tears. Crisis mode executives were reportedly having emergency calls with legal teams and public relations strategists, and sponsors were threatening to pull deals. The next season of Love and Hip Hop was already in production, and scenes involving Men and Erica were supposed to be important plot points. But those scenes were now unusable, and producers were rushing to rewrite entire episodes. The rawness of the video touched a chord, and even some of her harshest critics paused, not believing her, but they couldn't deny the vulnerability in her voice. Fans started organizing support campaigns, creating hashtags like hashtag Erica SUPPOU and hashtag Truth Will Prevail. Meanwhile, Mendeecees supporters retaliated with hashtags like Protect Black Men and accusations, erasing all battle lines and fracturing families as they watched. From home, were now fighting at dinner tables. The drama had gone beyond entertainment to become personal, political, and cultural, and just when people thought it could get any messier, an anonymous source leaked a purported audio clip to a well-known gossip website. The clip was brief but powerful, and it showed what sounded like a heated argument between Erica and Mendeecees. The voices were muffled, but one line stood out. "You think you can talk to me like that and nothing will happen?" Fans couldn't agree on who said it. Some insisted it was Mendeecees, while others claimed it was Erica's. Experts offered their opinions on blogs and Twitter, but without official confirmation, it was just another fuel fire. In an attempt to provide her with solace and clarity, her sister reportedly flew in to stay with her while she was inconsolable. According to one source, she sobbed for hours on end, repeatedly saying, "I can't lose everything over something I didn't even do." She stopped posting on social media altogether. Even the account for her skincare line went dark, and fans noticed that the silence was deafening. By the end of the week, the legal case had reached a boiling point, and Erica's team filed a request for a temporary restraining order. Hip-hop and Love fans pleaded for answers, but all they received were cryptic tweets, indirect posts, and more drama than they could handle. Finally, the mother entered the discussion on Facebook Live, fiercely defending her son, saying he is not perfect, but he's not a monster either. Erica had better be careful because karma doesn't play. Her remarks sparked even more controversy, with people criticizing her and, in the midst of it all, standing there, holding her breath, waiting for the next blow. Nobody knew what the future held, but everyone knew that this was far from over the following morning. A blurry paparazzi photo of Yandy sitting on a bench outside a courthouse with her hands clasped together and her head bowed, wearing sunglasses, sparked hundreds of theories. No official statement had been released, but within an hour, the hashtags #YANDI shock and #courthouse queens were trending. Behind-the-scenes sources claimed that Yandy had been subpoenaed. An insider said she was one of the few people who had witnessed the tension between Erica and Mendeecees during several production shoots. Some whispered that she had witnessed them fighting violently in the past, while others thought she had evidence that could clear Mendeecees' name. In any case, her involvement meant that the drama had reached a point where there was no turning back. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was in damage control mode, and his management team booked him a last-minute interview with a well-known radio show in an attempt to sway public opinion. He sat in the studio wearing a simple hoodie and cap, and he sat into the microphone with a forced, calm look. "This isn't a tit. Never touched that woman." The host gently pressed him about the texts, the bruises, and the restraining order. The BBC shook his head, saying that she was upset and trying to bring me down with her. As the interview went live, fans praised him for remaining calm and telling the truth, while others dragged him online, accusing him of trying to manipulate public opinion by lying about his calmness. Perhaps the most unexpected response came from Safari, Erica's ex-husband, who stated in a mysterious tweet, "Told y'all she doesn't play fair. Watch your backs." Fans thought he was supporting Menk right away, but he posted a follow-up a few hours later. "Don't get it wrong. That man isn't clean either." The confusion only got worse because nobody knew who to believe, who was telling the truth, and who was lying, and the whole thing had devolved into a web of claims and counterclaims, blurred loyalties, and then came the leaked footage. An anonymous user sent a grainy behind-the-scenes video of a deleted scene of hip-hop and love to a major gossip blog. In it, Erica and Mendeecees were seen having a heated argument. Their voices were raised and their faces were tense. However, the moment that caught everyone's attention was when the Mendeecees leaned in his face, inches from Erica's, and pointed aggressively. The video didn't show physical contact, but the body language was intense enough to spark yet another round of outrage. Erica reposted the video with the caption, "I still think I'm lying." With the court date just days away, her supporters came together to demand that Mendeecees be held accountable. Some demanded that he be removed from the franchise permanently. Bloggers spent hours dissecting the video, pointing out every gesture and arguing that it didn't prove physical assault. Others accused Erica of inciting confusion by claiming that the video was edited or taken out of context. Finally, with the court date just days away, Yandy broke her silence in a tearful Instagram laugh, addressing the situation directly. "Is the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with." Her voice cracked as she said, "I love my husband. I love my peace, and I thought I could love both without having to choose, but I can't ignore what's happening anymore." She didn't confirm or deny whether she believed Erica or Mendeecees, but her tears were genuine, and her comment section was filled with prayers, support, and requests for strength. One follower wrote, "Protect your peace, Queen. Don't let this destroy you." However, behind the scenes, tensions were already rising, and executives were considering pulling the entire season because they were afraid of legal repercussions, brand damage, and possible boycotts. According to insiders, sponsors had already started to back out of promotional deals. Filming had been paused indefinitely, and several cast members were demanding that their own contracts be reviewed. The once tightly controlled reality world of love and hip-hop was now going out of control. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, Arepa's lawyer made a shocking new claim, saying they were considering filing a second case for emotional distress as well as physical assault. The network panicked. Top producers scheduled emergency meetings with legal consultants. Lawyers started combing through contracts and behind-the-scenes footage, and gossip blogs feasted on the chaos, dropping new leaks and speculation every hour. They claimed that Erica had suffered months of manipulation, gaslighting, and intimidation while filming with men in D.C. Production allegedly ignored these threats, threatening to sue one directly if things didn't change. Men responded on social media calling it all a planned attack, and shared a video of himself working out in his home gym with the caption, "Pressure builds diamonds, not cracks." The crew member's identity was unknown for years, and their claims added yet another level of complexity to the already growing mess. While some supporters viewed it as a display of fortitude, others labeled Di tone deaf, arguing that he ought to be more concerned with accountability rather than image, including Yandy's quiet following his "she didn't like it." And as the week went on, everyone's attention was drawn to the impending court appearance. As the moment of truth approached, would Erica provide indisputable evidence? Would men have witnesses? Could Yandy testify for or against her own husband? The speculation was endless, and the tension was evident back at her home. Erica was reportedly preparing for court with her legal team day and night, cutting off contact with most of her inner circle and ceasing to speak to the media. According to a friend, she was laser-focused and determined to make her voice heard. The friend said, "This time, I'm ready to fight men." Mendeecees too was getting ready, but in a different way. RC said he had hired a crisis management expert, a powerful legal defense team, and even a private investigator to delve into Erica's past. He was reportedly planning to present counter-evidence, including testimony from crew members and footage that painted Erica as unstable and vindictive. The battle lines were drawn, and fans were exhausted but glued to every update. Some speculated that the entire saga would become its own spin-off series, while others were concerned that it might be the end of love and hip-hop as we know it. The court day arrived with a buzz unlike anything the love and hip-hop world had ever seen. Hours before the hearing, paparazzi flocked to the courthouse steps, flashing cameras and recording every moment of tension. Erica Mena arrived first, wearing a somber black outfit and large sunglasses to protect herself from the flashing lights and loud questions. Her expression was steely, displaying neither fear nor regret, but a clear determination to stand her ground. Mena arrived shortly after, flanked by his lawyers and a small group of supporters, including Yandy. Together, they sparked immediate speculation about whether their marriage was still intact in the midst of the storm inside the courtroom. The judge, the case to order. Erica's lawyer made the first emotional statements, outlining the accusations of assault and emotional abuse. The lawyer said that her client had suffered psychological trauma in addition to physical harm at the hands of Mr. Harris. The courtroom murmured as the words reverberated throughout the room, and Mendeecees' legal team quickly countered, attacking Erica's credibility. The defense contended that the accusations, which emphasized her history as a reality star with dramatic antics and highlighted inconsistencies in her story, are a calculated attempt to manipulate the narrative and garner publicity. Mr. Harris has always been cooperative and dedicated to resolving disputes in private, so the back and forth felt more like it was outside of the courtroom. The media frenzy exploded, with reporters camped out all day broadcasting live updates, analyzing every comment from the legal teams, and speculating on potential outcomes. Social media was ablaze with hashtags like #EricOsmondDC and #LuluJin. Hip-hop court trending worldwide, and fans took sides. While some fervently defended Erica's courage in speaking out, others rallied behind Mena's claims of innocence, and Yandy's role became the most hotly debated topic. Was she a victim herself, caught between loyalty and truth, or was she complicit in the CRPAC stage? Rumors spread that she might be called as a witness, a revelation that could upset the delicate balance the family was frantically trying to maintain. Producers from The One reportedly sent representatives to observe the proceedings while she was getting ready for her testimony. Friends close to her disclosed that she had spent the previous night practicing with her legal team to ensure that every detail was accurate. She is aware that this is about more than just her story. One insider stated, "This is about setting a precedent for others who have been silenced." Her supporters gathered behind her on social media, flooding the internet with messages of support and encouragement. Mendeecees, on the other hand, were playing a different game, with rumors circulating that he was secretly trying to discredit Erica by leaking the family was caught in the middle. With members publicly urging calm but privately struggling to hold the pieces together. Then came the explosive moment that no one had anticipated during a recess. When Erica's legal team presented new evidence, a security camera video recording from a private event where Menk and Erica were seen in a heated confrontation. These leaks included private text messages and photos that painted Erica in an unflattering light from fans who had once supported her. They also hired private investigators to look into her past. Even though the video was grainy, the physical contact was undeniable. And the courtroom erupted in chaos as the defense frantically argued that the video should be dismissed as edited and misleading the judge. However, in a move that shocked many, the court allowed the video to be reviewed by an independent forensic expert, which put Mendeecees on the defensive and gave weight to Aretha's claims. The courtroom's power seemed to shift overnight, with rumors that the case might finally be tipping in Erica's favor. When called to the stand for the trial, she looked reluctant but determined. Her voice trembled as she recounted moments of tension between Erica and men that she had witnessed. She described emotional breakdowns, heated arguments, and moments where she feared for Erica's safety. "It was hard for me," she admitted, "because I wanted to believe in my husband, but I couldn't ignore what I saw." Her words shocked the courtroom and sent shockwaves through the fan base. The family was left divided like never before, with some applauding her for her bravery and others accusing her of betrayal. Social media exploded with opposing viewpoints, and the drama spread to every corner of the courtroom. Every day brought new twists as the trial progressed, including a surprise affidavit from a former crew member claiming to have seen injuries. A leaked phone conversation between Mendeecees and Yandy expressing regret and frustration, and rumors of secret settlement talks behind closed doors. The unpredictability kept audiences interested but left everyone exhausted and anxious about what the final verdict would be. The trial was a spectacle, with the media capitalizing on every moment, turning the once close-knit love and hip-hop family fracturing in front of the world. While late-night comedians mocked the ridiculousness of the situation, sponsors discussed removing advertisements, and advertisers demanded greater control over the content. One executive faced a crisis unlike any they had ever faced in juggling legal risk, public opinion, and the future of their flagship show. Despite the emotional toll, she persisted in trying to be heard, and her story became more than just a headline. In the meantime, Mendeecees struggled to maintain his public image, and his social media accounts went silent for days, punctuated only by cryptic posts. The once vibrant and outspoken reality star appeared subdued as the trial approached its conclusion, and fans conjecture about the toll the case was taking on him both personally and professionally. Rumors of a possible plea deal or private settlement circulated, but nothing was confirmed. Instead, and Yandy withdrew from the public eye, focusing on her children and personal healing. Friends said she was taking time to process everything and figure out what her next steps would be, both personally and professionally. The final day of the trial arrived, and the courtroom was filled with reporters, fans, and family members eagerly awaiting the judge's ruling. Tension hung high in the air as both sides made their closing arguments. Erica's attorney passionately summarized the evidence, emphasizing the emotional and physical pain she endured and the courage it took to come forward. The judge's decision could change everything for everyone involved. Would justice be served? Would the family find a way to heal? Or was this the beginning of the end for Love and Hip Hop's most explosive saga? As the judge was about to deliver her verdict, the courtroom fell silent. The decision would affect not only Eric and Menk, but also the entire Love and Hip Hop family. All of the fans waited with bated breath, many taking to social media to express their hopes and fears. After what seemed like an eternity, the judge announced a partial ruling, finding that some allegations lacked sufficient evidence to proceed. Truth, accountability, and standing up against abuse, no matter who you are Men's lawyers. Pleas for fairness. The decision sparked immediate reactions, with Erica's supporters celebrating her bravery and the men's camp expressing disappointment but vowing to appeal. In a heartfelt statement, Yandy expressed her pain and hope for healing within the family, saying, "This has been the hardest time of my life, but I believe in forgiveness and growth. We must support one another even in the darkest moments." Her words were met with mixed reactions, but they showed a glimpse of possible reconciliation. As the dust settled, many pondered what this meant for everyone's future and whether Erica's bravery would encourage others to speak out. The drama dominated headlines for weeks when one announced the new season of Love and Hip Hop would be delayed, citing the need to respect the legal process and the emotional well-being of the cast. Producers also hinted at potential storyline changes and a more serious tone going forward. How would Yandy balance her job between loyalty and honesty now that it's your turn? And could Men repair his reputation? What are your thoughts on this explosive case? Do you support Men's positions? Or do you think that Erica's charges are true? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, whether you believe this will have an impact on their family